Here we are, guys, with our underdog draft, a follow-up to our market movers video. Let's see what we can do. The draft just opened up. We are in the number 7 spot, and we got our players queued up. We added one extra player that wasn't on our risers list. That's Devonta Smith. He was the next riser. We got him. We put him on here. You get some extra players added sometimes. That was the one extra player added this time, so just one. We are very high on Devonta Smith. Seems like there's even more smoke to the AJ Brown trade, which means that you'd expect Devonta Smith to continue rising up. One thing that I caught, just one man's opinion, a wide receiver analysis, and Matt Harmon was saying that he could see Devonta Smith being a top 15 wide receiver, but that means he's only moving up to the end of the third round, so not many more picks than 38 if that's the case. So, not saying he's right, but take that however you want if you trust his insight more than anyone else's. We, at the seventh pick, are what are we looking for with the seventh pick here? I can't even remember. We are low. Okay, we're low on Puka, so we'd love a Puka fall. That's what we've been rooting for since day one. We haven't caught it yet. We are in the spot stinks. We're like still higher on JSN than we want to be. We're higher than on Jonathan Taylor. We're even the field on Jonathan Taylor. We're slightly underfield on Christian McCaffrey. We want to be higher on the other wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson. But we really want a Puka fall so we can get to the market on Puka and get some unique combinations compared to other people on Puka. It's probably not going to happen though, which stinks. Which stinks. Yep, there goes Puka. There goes Jonathan Taylor. We're gonna pull up whatever that means. No, you know what? This is on the stream where we're trying to get our players. Christian McCaffrey is our top rank. He's also top of the ADP. Christian McCaffrey actually is a. Let's pull it up here. He's a. Let's come on. Let's get this right. He is a value on underdog. He's going to pick 6 on DraftKings, pick 7 on underdog. So we are underweight Christian McCaffrey. He's not someone we're targeting, but you know, since this draft is tied to what we're doing here, why not take him? We're still slightly underweight on underdog and DraftKings, but I don't think it's a bad pick, just not my favorite pick. That being said, getting the running backs early does seem to make the rest of the draft just easier, which is nice. So the next player based on ranks is Saquon Barkley, which wouldn't be bad if we did get a Saquon Barkley, right? A fall there would be nice. Since we don't draft much of Christian McCaffrey, we want to make these picks worthwhile. Saquon Barkley is a riser right now. Let's see if we can get Saquon. That'd be sweet if we could get Saquon Barkley. Come on. Oh, darn. Don't really care about any of these players. I already got 2 teams with Rasheed Rice. We're going to go Omari and Hampton here, just he's the best available. We really wanted the Saquon Barkley fall, not just because he was on our list, that would have been sweet, but because it's a little bit more unique as well. Probably not as unique as I'd like to make it be, but it would be unique to me because I don't have that yet, and I don't draft much Christian McCaffrey. We got Omari and Hampton. So we went running back, running back. We're going to avoid running back with the rest of these picks unless we can get something that is of extreme value. Trey McBride falls to us. That'd be nice. Rasheed Rice falls to us. That'd be nice. Josh Allen's a value on the website. He's not, he's actually probably more of a faller on the website as well. We have drafted, it looks like Josh Allen with 2 of our Christian McCaffrey teams already. So we are not going to go Josh Allen. We are desperately hoping that Josh Allen gets taken. So that gives us like a better combination of players. What's the problem here is that it's like all running backs available other than Josh Allen. Makes you want to be like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go three running backs to start. Like what player in this area is the right player at 30 at pick 31? There goes Josh Jacobs. There goes Travis Etienne. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll figure out what wide receiver makes it back to us. We do more like zero running back, I think, overall than most, and we don't do as much of this like hardcore running back. Probably more hero running. I could be wrong. I should probably look into that. I think we do more zero and hero running back. There goes Smith getting pulled up into the third round now. I think you're gonna see more and more of this. I did it once with a Lamb team, but in general, I got so much of Smith over here. I don't want to be pulling him up in this contest. I don't think. Look at that. We got running backs that are next available based on ADP. Mike Evans is on our list of players, and he would be a stack with Christian McCaffrey. We've done that once before. I don't think he's any better or worse than these other receivers. Let's just do it again. Mike Evans. There's always a chance Colston Loveland makes it around to the next round. There's like zero chance that Mike Evans, I mean, not zero chance, but I think less of a chance that Mike Evans makes it around just because the tight ends are a little more polarizing. If we get in a draft where no one likes the tight ends, then he could fall to the fifth. Also, we do have a little bit of um, better advantage because these both got tight ends. No, it didn't matter. He took Loveland. Not saying it was guaranteed. If Bucky Irving fell, we'd have to do it. We did take another player on our list in Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a riser, I want to say. Here he is. He's one of the risers. Been rising for the past month and the past day and the past week. I think he's at that point now where he's kind of risen up just a little enough to where people can justify pulling him up to stack with Christian McCaffrey. So you could see him maybe on that risers list for a while now. What do we do with this next pick here? Such ugly picks to choose from, if you ask me. I do like the Dunze Watson pick a little bit. I wouldn't mind just doing something weird and taking Lamar Jackson if he falls to me at 55. If he doesn't fall to me, then it's either okay, he fell to me. I think we're just gonna take the value on Lamar Jackson, continue to push wide receivers and see what happens. That's probably a dumb thing to do, but we're gonna do it. Yeah, so it's probably a dumb thing to do. You got to try something different every once in a while, get unique compared to the rest of the field. We'll try to do it and see what happens. There was the Zay Flowers pick right there. Make it like a. The nice thing here is we can make it easily like a two QB team with Purdy and Lamar, and then hammer wide receivers hardcore. Drake May gets drafted early to. This is happening more and more often. Hurts getting pulled up. Such ugly picks here. We're gonna pull up Jordan Tyson. He's getting a lot of buzz. He's one of our selected picks. He's a riser, and he's rising because he got great buzz due to his workout. And I wouldn't be surprised if he surpasses these other players. Tyson was never going to get back around to me, while Harrison, Pierce, Washington, all those players could potentially fall to me in the next round. I mean, that's kind of what I'd expect in a standard draft right now. So that's what we'll do and see what happens. Tyson, I don't think it would happen based on the draft board, but maybe Tyson gets drafted by the Ravens somehow. Again, probably not going to happen, but maybe gets drafted by the Rams, and then it would be like a bring back on San Francisco type of thing. So that we got another player based on our ranks, though, too. We are looking at these wide receivers, if any of them made it back to us. What pick are we? We're pick 79. I do also like Addison at 83, but would prefer not to. And then 90 and then 103. And where does Brock Purdy go usually? 95. So we need to be taking a look at where Pearsall's going. We don't want someone to take have Pearsall available and then get Purdy. Not a lot of great options here for us. We could argue DK Metcalf or Wilson. We will go DK Metcalf. I think it's pick your flavor there. I don't have a flavor. So we're just going to take the better one based on ADP. One that I know we're behind. I think we're behind on all those receivers. Godwin getting pulled up. Godwin is a value on underdog, while Addison's the value on DraftKings, and they both go here in the 80s, which I think is probably where they both belong. If Wilson falls, we'll just take Wilson. We need to look where Pearsall's at. We either want to take Pearsall or Purdy again now is a target as well. We can see on this side of the board that this guy does a four. He's taking the best available, I think, with this one and this one. Makes it hard to just not take Brock Purdy here with fear that he could then take Purdy at like 101 or something like with one of the picks. That being said, we do need receivers as well. What stinks is we can't even take advantage of the Michael Wilson thing. Oh, that's horrible. Good, I'm glad he took Michael Wilson. 95. We're gonna go Pearsall, try to get the triple stack. We went so late at QB that we do need to catch up. That's part of our plan to catch up right there. We did open up a Pittsburgh stack as well. Okay, was that the guy that is taking best that we said might be taking best available? He did take Jackson Dart. That's good. I don't know if he's doing best available, but I think that Jackson Dart was best available. We keep on passing on. So, oh, that would have been a fun click, actually. The Dart click would have been a fun click as well. Because one of the rumors is that Tyson gets drafted to the Giants. I don't know. Hopefully, there's at least one player isolating Brock Purdy from being best available in case that guy's going best available. That might not happen. That would be unfortunate if that's the case. That's not good. We'll find out. I think all those players right there are good options. Could either do find out if he's doing best available in one pick. This guy could take a QB. I don't think he should. He took Jaden Reed Darn, which was one of the people we queued up as a riser. Okay, this was the guy that, okay, so he's not as quick to take this one. Okay, took Stafford. Oh, that hurts. We're gonna go Pittman. Let's do like I mean, we gotta figure out another stack, some other QB things now that he went. We'll go both Pittsburgh guys, and we'll do a interesting Pittsburgh stack. Why not? Or we'll try to at least. If Casey Concepcion made his way around, we definitely have to do that. Josh Downs. We're definitely recovering at wide receiver, though. I mean, it's not the prettiest wide receiver room, but I feel fine about it now. I do like Tony Pollard, too. Oh, those are three. Oh, Tony Pollard goes. That's probably good for us. Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love are still available, but Jordan Love's a tough one to take because we're not able to get any stacks with them. Okay. Obviously, not obviously, but obviously the wide receivers are a way to go here. Let's get Casey Concepcion on our team. We now have six wide receivers. We might have like more wide receivers than anyone else. We do. Okay. Don't feel bad about it, actually, if you ask me. At tight end, we could consider players like Andrews. I think Sadiq. I think I saw Sadiq get drafted way early, didn't I? Maybe not. I don't see it. Other no, I don't know. Mark Andrews is 140, so I got some time for that. Sadiq. He did get drafted. Kenneth Gainwell falling down the boards. George Kittle would have been. I mean, there's always the talk of you get the stack without the quarterback. Rashad White, where he would be a great stacking partner. There goes Kittle. There's Omar Cooper Jr. if we want to keep on taking. Okay. We're going to pass on these two because we're saying that Omar is probably going to pass them anyways. Let's get Rashad White as our fourth running back. No, oh, we don't have. No, no, no. Let's go Omar Cooper Jr. I was thinking we had Jaden Higgins, Jaden Daniels. We don't. So good thing I didn't take Rashad White there. Okay, we went last second, got Cooper instead. We are going hardcore. You could have argued Jaden Higgins instead to get the try to get the Houston stack for. Oh wait, no, CJ Stroud's already taken. Okay, so I guess I feel good about that one then. Mark Andrews at 144. This guy's got no tight ends, a lot of ones here. So if we don't get Mark Andrews with this next pick, we might not get him at all. Sam Darnold's a huge faller. Rashid Shaheed still available. Let's go Sam Darnold. Why not? That actually, as I click on it, like it, I think I like it even more. It's a potential bring back with San Francisco. We kind of need a another wide receiver. Oh darn, Rashid went another wide receiver. We probably need three quarterbacks. It opened up a Rashid Shaheed thing, or we can do like a Horton thing at the end, or a tight end thing with AJ Barner. So that makes sense in a couple different ways. Is Zach Charbonnet still available? Zach Charbonnet still available? And this is the type of team where Zach Charbonnet could work also. So it works in a couple different ways. So I like that. I think I like that pick overall. I do like the Jonathan Brooks pick also. There isn't much more on Baltimore to choose from. Justice Hill is like a way late round pick would be fun. Oh darn, there goes Mark Andrews. That's unfortunate. We knew it'd be a little tough to get him through, but having a naked Lamar Jackson or even like again even like a Bateman at the end or something like that. We do have a lot of rookies. We got three rookies that could stack up with them as well. We don't take much Zach Charbonnet, but this is one that will do that if he makes it to us. We have no tight ends. AJ Barner is in the 70s. I was gonna say, so it's gonna be one of these two. Okay. We'll take Zach Charbonnet here. We don't draft him much. We don't draft Sam Darnold much either. So might as well do it while we can. Two players that we're underweight on. Now we're in a little bit of an odd spot with things. 162, 175. We're not taking AJ Barner with this pick. Devontae Wicks, not yet, would be not a pick. So if one of those tight ends make it, I think we got to just kind of maybe go with it. We could do Emmanuel. We don't need the handcuff on the running back, so we're definitely not going to go Emmanuel Wilson. It's a weird spot for us. We went so hard at wide receiver that we've kind of like caught up. I guess we're just going to take a tight end if they make it to us. Neither of them kind of do anything for our team at all as far as stacks go. I think we'll just take best available is what we'll do. Okay. Bretton Strange, well past ADP. Come on down. And then now AJ Barner makes sense with our next pick if he makes it to us. If not, whatever, not the end of the world. Don't care a whole lot either way. I don't know how I feel about him. Um, this is where we'd be considering Wicks as well, but I think on this team, we're not going to consider him unless he falls even further. The other players we want to be on the lookout for here now are Aaron Rodgers and where is he? Pat Fryermuth to do a Pittsburgh thing. And then also, like I was saying, we probably want to be looking out for Horton because just to kind of get where's Horton? He's way down here. Horton's one of the later round picks. Hunter at 167 is nice. I like it. We're kind of hoping that uh, no one here takes Juwan Johnson. That way, this guy's got zero tight ends. Can have Juwan Johnson as an option. He'd probably take Juwan Johnson over AJ Barner, you would imagine. Stowers is an interesting pick for Baltimore, but they took him. Sadiq would have been an option too for Baltimore. We mentioned that earlier. There goes Johnson. That's not the greatest. What do we do with this pick if do we get our last running back? This is the last no, we want to get our last pick to be a running back. We're only going to go five. We could go six running backs. I think we caught up on everything so much. We don't want a wide receiver. We do want a tight end. So if we don't get Barner, do we just go Schultz? We could go six running backs still and be okay. Oh, there goes Wicks. Okay, good. Kind of getting bailed out just a little bit in that if we didn't get Barner there, we're kind of like in a weird spot where we don't want anything now because of the things we want later. But Barner gets to us. We have our two tight ends. We're gonna pull up, I think, AJ or Aaron Rodgers here. We're gonna get like one round ahead of everything if we can, because Aaron Rodgers goes closer to 200. But again, we know which running back we want later on. We know which wide receiver we want later on. Where is he? Justice Hill. I think we want Justice Hill later on. I think we want Torrey Horton later on. Justice Hill does catch some passes for Lamar. He's kind of like the third down back. And we don't really have anything stacked with them at all. This would be our next four picks. Do we only have four picks left, or do we have five picks left? We have five picks left. So we can't we do have one extra pick. But again, we want to be ahead of the Rodgers and Freiermuth thing just because although Tank Bigsby would be a fun pick here. We don't need it. Oh no, oh yeah, we don't need it. I kind of hope he takes Tank Bigsby so I don't consider it to be a fun pick. Let's see. This guy's got five quarterbacks. This guy's only got one. It probably probably makes more sense. We're gonna pass on Tank Bigsby as much as it hurts to take Aaron Rodgers right here because one guy hoarding five quarterbacks means that everyone else is gonna want quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers does mean a lot to this team because of our Pittsburgh correlation that we got going on. And we're going to try to do more of it with Pat Fryermuth. They are kind of condensing a little bit where you do have, where getting them in like 17 and 18 is tougher, or 18, 19 is tougher. I think they've just been moving up the boards, like just a little bit. Not enough to where you see them on our sheets, but they have been moving up the boards. This guy still only has one quarterback. Who did they get as their one quarterback? Caleb Williams is their one quarterback so far. Okay. A bunch of two tight end teams on the right-hand side of the board, and we know that the good tight ends go off on the left-hand side. So these are all teams, all candidates for tight ends. This guy just took his third QB. This guy still only has one, so even better that we took Aaron Rodgers where we did. That was a good call on our part. All these tight ends that are available can all be like jumbled up, and any of them could be taken. So again, just taking Pat Fryermuth here makes the most sense. There's nothing where we're like, we need this pick type of thing. Penix getting pulled up because I pulled up Rodgers. What could we do? So really, if we're doing a standard 3-6-8-3, it'd be another running back paired with for this team to get the six running backs because we got Justice Hill's one of them. We could do an eighth wide receiver as well. We're gonna get Pat Fryermuth here again, pulling him up just a tad to secure the interesting stack. Um, Really, it's do we go running back or wide receiver with our extra pick? We caught up so much at wide receiver that it doesn't have to be. That being said, we get like a Rashad. Let's just look at our Baltimore guys that are late. There's Rashad Bateman and Devontae Walker that are late. Rashad Bateman, why can't he do something? Like I think he can. Why not? So that seems like a pick that really works for this team based on what we have. With us having Amari and Hampton, we passed on Lad McConkey, didn't we, to get Mike Evans. And then we missed, ouch, that hurts. And then we missed out on Brock Purdy. I wonder if we do Lad McConkey here, Lamar Jackson, Jordan. Oh, we would have missed out on, oh no, that's kind of stinks a little bit. Well, of course Herbert would make it here. Where does Justin Herbert? He goes in the 80s, right? Yeah, 83. So we could have done a Lamar Herbert thing and then passed on DK Metcalf. I'm a fan of this Pittsburgh stack. I think it might be a fun one. I'm thinking we go wide receiver, pull up Justice. We could go Jordan James and get both the San Francisco running backs. I don't think we need to do that. And then we're going Torrey Horton here to get our Seattle stack. These guys have so many running backs that, I mean, if we really wanted James, he could come back. Not that we really want him. I'm kind of set on making this a 3-5-9-3 with because we did draft three running backs with our first three picks. We do have this guy who ideally comes back halfway through the year to take over the starting role. And then we can go like Justice and then James went anyways. I don't see anything at running back that really like goes and says like, yeah, we need a we go like Halani as the other pass catching Seattle running back. I don't think so though. I'm pretty convinced Justice Hill, and then I think Rashad Bateman is the is the guy over Devontae. Like Walker didn't do anything. Gonna look and see if there's any like news on Rashad Bateman. He's got some negative news from other websites. Okay, we're gonna go Justice Hill right here. He's rising up the boards, it looks like a bit. And this, I don't think I've drafted much of him at all. That being said, there are, at least one other person that's really high on him. This might be like one of my first or second shares of him. Not many. Just because there's that tier of running backs, Tank Hill, Brian Robinson Jr., um, if I Tank Hill, Tank Bigsby, Brian Robinson Jr., Tajay Spears, Dylan Sampson, that I've been hitting and grabbing my last one there, that I haven't gone down to the next level a whole lot. We're gonna go Rashad Bateman with the next one if he gets to us. I don't see Bateman get drafted in most drafts, but watch, this is the draft he gets drafted because I want him. That being said, we got 8, 8, 7, 9. So Delp. There you go. He's gotten some buzz. In the end, I think I do like how does he didn't get love, did he? He's got Lawrence Ward Fields. Okay, we drafted a couple wide receiver clicks, but they weren't the ones that we had. Let's go Rashad Bateman with our last pick. We drafted. Oh, okay. We drafted Rashad Bateman more than one time. I think I like how this turned out in the end. Um, I don't know how much of this I've done, but it feels pretty good actually. We started off so slow at wide receiver. We got our first wide receiver, Mike Evans, in round 4, and then we stopped. We took another detour with Lamar Jackson, but then we just hammered wide receiver hardcore with 5, 6 in a row with 3 of them being rookies. So that's the scary part, maybe a bunch of rookies, but we do have a bunch of veterans to hopefully start us off strong. We have Evans. They're injury prone, but really you got they should be healthy to start the season, hopefully, right? So you have Evans, Metcalf, Pittman to start. Who knows what Pearsall's up to, but hopefully something. Pittman to start. So 3 veterans to start. We got our 3 rookies. We have the dice roll in Pearsall. And then as we go down the board here, we just finish it off with players to stack with our QBs in Horton. Like I do like when you do this, when you find your stacking partners late. I think it just makes those last picks that much more valuable versus just add-ons. Not saying add-ons are bad, because those could make sense in certain cases as well, but stacking partner late. So that gives you like a little bit of a bonus, stacking partner late, a little bit of bonus, stacking partner late, a little bit of bonus, stacking part. And we needed these positions too, right? So that's even better. Stacking partner late, a little bit of bonus. Late QB, if he ends up being the starter, you got to think he's going to rise because he's already here and he's not even the expected starter or not even the confirmed starter yet for the team. So we're getting ideally closing line value on this, assuming he actually becomes a starter. But correlates with our prior picks, correlates with our prior picks. And really, this was our first pick. This is round 14. This is the first pick that didn't correlate with other picks. But guess what? He was like a huge ADP value. So ADP value, first tight end off the board for us. We went three late tight ends. You could have argued instead of Bateman, do we take a fourth tight end? Or do we go Parkinson and then Hill? That's probably the one question. Did we not invest enough at tight end is the only question, I think, a little bit. But listen to people, listen to people who are smarter than me. Strange, a lot of people think Strange is undervalued. There's people that are, again, smarter than me, and we mentioned this in the value in the market movers that think Freiermuth is undervalued. And then Barner, hopefully just kind of that like a Tucker Craft light type of tight end, not a pass catcher, not like a your pass catcher only, but because he's doing so many things so well, he's staying on the field basically. So we'll assume we have enough at tight end here with three later ones. Again, Strange again was our first non-correlated pick, but he was a value. Got Zach Charbonnet. I think that's just a slight fall, but correlated with our pick before Darnold, which was a fall. And then from here, the rest of these picks were again us trying to catch up at our wide receiver. So if you want a team that tells a story as to why your picks are your picks, I think we did that very well with this team. I like it overall. It would have been pretty sweet if we got um it would have been better, right? If we got Purdy instead of Pittman right here. But we made the Pittman pick work, I guess. And yeah, we made the Pittman pick work at least. So make lemonade out of lemons. We got how many players that were on our list? Christian McCaffrey was on our list. That was one. Zach Charbonnet, I took him off the list because I don't want to target him all, but he actually is on the list, right? Like if you look at the values, he is the number one platform value. So Zach Charbonnet's on the list. That's two. What else do we got here? Mike Evans was on the list as a riser. That's three. Jordan Tyson's on the list as a riser due to his workouts that he had. That's four. Let's see if any of these other wide receivers are on the list. I think there might be at least one more on the list. Omar Cooper's on the list. That's five. And then were anyone else values? I don't think so. There you go. Five players from the list that makes sense for our team based on how we're building it. I like it. Last but not least, as you know, we are going to look and see if there's another team that we can match up to that did something similar. Did anyone else stop at five running backs? In fact, someone stopped at four running backs. This is the team that didn't get their first quarterback till here and then waited later. They have four running backs. They started with Brown. So this is, I mean, we'll do it because there's so many sixes. This is the only player, the team that's the most extreme that kind of matches up with us. Although I don't think they probably did a good job with it. So it's kind of, a lame pick as far as that goes. So we went three running backs to start. Makes sense why we stopped at five. We could have gone six, like we talked about a little bit, but I think five makes sense, especially considering what's available at the end of the draft. Is already those players, if any of those players are making a dent for us, we're in trouble. Our fifth one was one that we took just because he correlated really well, and the fourth one also correlated well. So it makes sense why we got three and then just got like, okay, picks that sprinkle in that correlate. This guy's got four. He started with Brown, fine. But when you don't go two running backs early, you got to think that you got to go more than four. And he went with Stevenson, who he might be the starter, he might not be. Maybe by the end of the season, maybe he's not the starter. Algier, who he's got question marks in his own backfield, and now they're talking about Love. Maybe he gets drafted as well there. So that's tough as well. And then he went with Pacheco here, who does he have anything left in the tank? He's definitely not the starter. So he definitely should have at least five, if not six running backs the way he did things. So I think it makes sense more what I did as far as running back goes. As far as one QB goes, he went with five QBs. He went with Williams early to pair with Loveland. Makes sense. Good job there. He took him after ADP also. I guess good job there. But then he got Penix, Cousins, Sanders, McCarthy. So just sprinkled in a bunch of random guys. He has no Atlanta. You know what? He was probably no, he passed. So he passed up on. He took Kittle here instead of Darnold at 124. Kittle, I think, has a lower ADP, but Darnold correlates with his team better. I think he totally should have taken. And he already has, I mean, Kittle's fun because and he stopped at two tight ends, so I'll definitely give him that. Uh, he's got Loveland. Hopefully, Loveland takes him through the whole season, basically, and then Kittle comes back with a vengeance later on. But Kittle doesn't stack up with anything, and he missed out on probably his best other QB stack. He also took Golden instead of Tyler Shuck right here with Love already drafted. So I feel like he passed up on some picks that he shouldn't have passed up on. No one else took a wide receiver in this range because they went so heavy at wide receiver early on. And really, again, Golden, while he should be rising up the board a little bit, I think he's capped, right? Like, unless Downs rises up more, which maybe he should rise up more. It's hard for Golden too, and it's hard for Downs to rise up more because of who's before him. You can see I got Conception at ADP. They got Robinson kind of at ADP, Downs at ADP, Golden at ADP. It's hard to get these players to rise because of who's around them and the other interesting wide receiver prospects. Jalen Coker falling into the 130s because I took Cooper ahead of him. Again, Cooper's the one rising. Coker's the one falling. I expect this to happen more often, right? Like we even talked about on the prior video. Check it out. It's a good one, I promise. I'll leave a comment, right? So some things we can learn from this based on what we saw in the market movers, as well as how this draft worked out. Uh, where's our team that we're comparing to right here? So five QBs. Five's a little overkill, but I could definitely see like a four QB build here of some sorts. What did he? I think he messed up again in that instead of taking Malik Washington here, who doesn't really do much for you on this team as a ninth wide receiver, you go and you take Tua here and you take Penix here, and that way you end up with guaranteed Atlanta stack, and then you can take an Atlanta wide receiver down here if you really want to as well, as opposed to Malik Washington, which doesn't do a whole lot. And you can see him start falling down the board when Miami drafts a wide receiver in the draft. So really not a smart pick, I think here. Get two. I don't know if that's a pull up. That's like getting two at ADP, and then you're pulling a Penix a little bit. And then if you want to, you could get a fourth QB, or you just stop at three. If you want a fourth, do you have any Las Vegas players? You don't really have any Las Vegas players either. I, I'm not a fan of Kirk Cousins if you don't have Las Vegas players because the chances of him ending the season as a starter are tough. Um, trying to I really think that if at the end of the draft, you go Tua, Penix, and then if you really want a fourth QB or a fifth QB, you go do a Shedeur Sanders here, Deshaun Watson here, right? Like if you really want to secure it, or you get a Ty Simpson, something like that. I think those are all options, but I think he just messed this up at QB as well. So I think he messed up running back. He messed up QB. Wide receiver, he's got nine. I got nine, but he started with two, three through the first five, three, four, five through the first 10. he shouldn't be going nine wide receivers unless it really makes sense. And we already argued why this wide receiver doesn't make much sense at all. And then with him going Diggs and Samuel here, which I don't mind those picks, he did overdraft them earlier than their ADP, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what Ayuk's doing there for you at all either. Like pick two of these three or something like that. Uh, so he should have stopped at seven or eight wide receivers, not nine wide receivers. When you go and you take Diggs and Samuel as well, I think you really got to stop at probably seven, just because you've drafted so many so early. So he underdrafted running back. He just drafted the wrong QBs. He overdrafted wide receiver. He did a good job at tight end, though, I think overall. That being said, I think he should have not taken Kittle, but taken a different position there instead, just based on how his team was constructed and what was going to be available later on to him that was definitely available around this time, right? Like not take Golden and get Shuck, or not take Kittle and take Darnold. I think both of those have been smarter bets on his part. Okay. Uh, Let me know what you think. Let me see. Tell me one thing you got out of this one. I feel like this was an interesting one combined with our market movers video earlier. Let me know what I'm doing. Tell me why I suck. See you on the next one. Peace.